Hello everyone, Michael Kelly here for the Irish Trad Slow Session Workshop. We are being hosted by Tom McNamara's Irish Import Shop in Hollywood, California. And this workshop is brought to you courtesy of Cultus Kilturi Aaron, the Los Angeles branch. So here's your tuning notes. All right, we've got a cellist in the house. That's grand. And here's one for the cello. All right, so how this is going to work is the first hour we're going to review, as in a typical slow session, the tunes that we've learned in past workshops. I will call them out. The music will appear on the screen. For example, the first one is The Hills of Terra. It's a hornpipe, and you're welcome to follow along with that. Also in the Facebook group, Irish Trad Session, Slow Session Workshop, all of the tunes, the notes for the tunes are located there if you want to download them into your device of choice, or do it the old-fashioned way, print them out. Otherwise, then just open up your ears and listen. We will be playing the first hour. We'll be playing at a medium tempo, medium to slow. And if I go too fast for you, please just put a comment in the chat section, and I will try and accommodate as many people as I possibly can. Also, looks like Wendy has reminded me that it is Easter weekend. Yes, I knew that. Thank you, Wendy, for wishing us all happy Easter, wishing everyone the same, and glad that you are joining me tonight for a set of Irish traditional tunes. The Irish have quite the history with Easter. And so anyway, without further ado, let's begin with The Hills of Terra hornpipe. We're going to play through it twice. 1, 2, 3. So there you have the Hills of Terra hornpipe. One of the first tunes that we began learning in this workshop several weeks ago. Now, if you notice, in the second time through in the B section, the second measure, I played something a little different from the first. Look at the third beat. It's a dotted quarter note. And when I played it the first time, I played it like this. But the second time, I played it as a long roll, because anytime you have a dotted quarter note, you have the option of putting a long roll ornament on it. So the second time, I played it like this. Okay, so if you are interested in doing that, the long roll for an open string is open, 1, 3, 1, open. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on that because that is something that we learned back when we first learned this tune. Okay, also, if you are interested in supporting my wonderful habit of doing Irish music here online, you may donate tips to my Venmo, which is @fiddlinforyou, or also PayPal, which is fiddlinforyou@aol.com. That's my email address associated with it. And tips are gratefully appreciated. Not required, but every little bit does help, especially these days. So that being said, let's go on to our next tune. Our next tune is a set of jigs. It's the Shandon bells and then the blackthorn stick. So we're going to go ahead and do these two double jigs at a medium tempo. Now normally a trad session, a typical trad session tempo would be about 108 beats per minute up to about 120. Dancers usually like it around 108. So if you think about 120, that's 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1, 2, da 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 da. That's your typical trad session speed. Now, normally what I do is I do it a little bit faster than half of that tempo for a slow session. So, yep, ba 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 da da ba ba da ba da da. Okay, so not an exact science here, but that's what we're going to do it at. Here we go with the Shandon bells jig set. 1 and go. Hup. Okay, so there we have the Shandon bells and the blackthorn jig set. Get rid of this here. Okay. Let's see what we have in comments. Okay. We've got Rita here from Holden, Maine. Wendy, is it Miss Pagel or Miss Poggle? I can't remember. Beaumont, California. Eunice is here from Pasadena, California. Katie B. Bowtie Bass, that would be Jacob from Central Illinois on the cello. And Jeff A., the one-man band from South Orange County, California. By the way, for those of you wondering what happened to my head when I'm over here, I have my laptop, let's see, my laptop's over here. And that's how I'm checking up on the YouTube feed, making sure everything's okay, and monitoring your chat. Then over here on this side, I have the live streaming dashboard, which helps me see what you're seeing. And then right there is my iPhone, which is broadcasting the live stream. Okay, that being said, let's move on here. By the way, if you've never been in a session before where somebody's going hup, what that means basically is either the person is going to go to another tune or they're going to end the set. So when you hear me say hup, that means I'm either going to turn the page on you and go to the next tune, or if we've come to the last tune, I'm indicating that it is the end of that particular set. So the next set that we have is the silver tip reel with the Wise Maid. A couple of tunes here, ostensibly in D. Now the first one is D, but it's D mixolydian, so it's a modal tune. The two main chords are D major and C major, and then in Wise Maid you're just in straight D major. So all of these tunes are arranged by me. They're not necessarily written by me, but the arrangements are mine, and all the mistakes that you might find in them, any misinterpretations or mistranscriptions, totally my fault. I'm responsible for all this. Now the music again is available online. You have to be a member of the Irish Treads Slow Session Workshop group on Facebook. All of the tunes are there. Plus I leave this stream up, the recording of the stream, for you guys to reference, and you can go back and play as many times as you want until YouTube decides that I'm taking up too much of their space. So here's the silver tip reel. Now normally your reel sets in an Irish trad session are going to go about 100 beats per minute, 200 beats per minute. So 200 to 212-ish. They can go a lot faster, but that's right around where dancers would like to have a reel set if you've got dancers with you. So if you're looking at 200, it'd be and again, I kind of cut that in half for a slow session. So and that's the tempo we're going to take this at. The first reel is a single reel, so there is no repeat on the A section or the B section, just 8 bars, no repeats. And then in Wise Maid, it's a double reel, which one of the definitions for that is that each section is repeated. So you'd have 16 complete measures in each section. All right, enough talking, here we go. We're gonna do silver tip 3 times and then Wise Maid twice. 1, 2, 1, and go, and. silver tip and the wise maid, a couple of sets in the D major tonality. Hi, Mary Ellen. Yes, I'm glad everything is working out well. Maine, that's a bit of a drive, isn't it? Pardon me as I wet my whistle here. A couple of things I want to mention, especially in Wise Maid. If you notice, the first note, it's a dotted quarter note, so again, that's one that we could play as a long roll. However, because it's the beginning of a section, the rule of thumb I use is don't ever start or end a section, which is a musical thought, by the way. Don't ever start a musical or end a musical section with an ornament. That is a rule of thumb that is meant to be broken on occasion, and it basically is up to your taste. But I like starting out solidly and ending a thought solidly, kind of like punctuation. You start with capitalization and you end with punctuation, and that way you have a very complete and strong thought. So I start out like this. So I could have just done, and that would have been perfectly fine too. The ornamentation, if you wanted to do it, just to give a little hint. So, but what I chose to do is put a double stop there, with just an open string drone, the A string. And that's very solid. But if you notice in the next line, we have the same passage, and here I am actually playing the long roll, because it's in the middle of the thought. Okay? And then again at the beginning of section B, I'm just doing an octave double stop with the open D. Alright, so enough of that. Moving along. Here is the jig of slurs, and oh yes, I'm supposed to do this too on occasion. Here's my tip jar on Venmo, which is @fiddlin'foryou, and on PayPal, it's fiddlin'foryou@aol.com. Now you can either paypal.me/fiddlin'foryou, which will take a certain percentage out of your tip and give it to PayPal, or you can send it to me as a friend and family member using my email address, and then I get all of the money. So your choice. I don't mind either way. I just am very grateful for the generosity of all of you that you've seen fit to tip me in the past, and hopefully that will continue. Let's see. Get rid of these now. Boom and boom. And jig of slurs, 4 sections. Now remember the slurs, the jigs are about 120 beats a minute in regular trad sessions. So 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. We're going to do it half that speed. So it's going to be 1, 2, 1 and 2 and da 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 da. Maybe a little bit faster than that. Here we go. We're going to do this one. We'll do it 3 times through. Actually, what's our time like? No, we'll do it twice through. 1 and ready and go. Okay, jig of slurs. And by the way, you notice that I ended on the D chord rather than the G chord. Even the last two sections were the tonality of G major. The main piece is in the key of D, and it goes to G, so it's a flip-flop. And I like ending on that, the main note of the first two sections, which is the D chord. Okay. Alrighty. And again, I'm supposed to do this between every tune. Venmo and PayPal. Now we have a couple of slides. Slides are typical. They're very similar to jigs. The same kind of a feel, but where jigs have a 1 and a 2 and a 2 beat feel, the slides have a 4 beat feel. So it's 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and same kind of a tempo, and it's just done in 4 beats of triplets. 12/8 is the key the time signature. The first slide is Dennis Murphy's slide, and then the Lonesome Road to Dingle, which is in G. So we go from D to G. We'll do each of these 3 times. About the same tempo as our last jig. 1 and go. Okay, so that is Dennis Murphy's Slide and The Lonesome Road to Dingle. Hope you enjoyed those. Hopefully the tempos are to your liking here. Let's go ahead and move on to Denture's polka set. That includes two polkas by Denture. The first one is Denture's polka number 3, then just Denture's, and then the 42-pound check. All right. So how fast does a polka go? A polka goes anywhere from like 110 to 140 or 50 beats per minute. So what you're talking about is something like, tell me, Ma, when I go home, the boys will leave the girls alone. 1, 2, 1, 2, da da ba da ba ba da. So half of that. Bum ba da dum bum 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 ba da dum bum. It's a little bit on the slow side, so pick it up just a bit more. Bum bum ba dum bum bum bum. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh, by the way, we'll do each polka twice through. 1, 2, 1, and go. So there we have the Denture polka set. How's everybody doing out there? Still doing okay? No complaints about the tempo so far. That's good news. Moving right along, here is the stack of wheat hornpipe. All right. Hornpipes are typically about 140 to 160 beats per minute. So about half the tempo is right about there, and that's the tempo we'll take. We'll do this twice through. 1, 2, 1, ready, go. Stack of wheat hornpipe. Oh, it's a little bit fast. Okay, so I will slow those down. The reels are a little bit too fast, but the jigs are okay. Is that what I'm hearing? And the hornpipe was a bit too fast. All right, I'll try and accommodate that. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. By the way, for those of you wondering what happened to me for the past several weeks and why we didn't have the workshop going on, we had a bunch of stuff with a little holiday called St. Patrick's Day, and I had a few performances to give that kind of interfered with when I would normally prepare and present the workshop, so I had to postpone. Plus, I have been doing a little recording project that may be of interest to you. I'm about halfway done with it. All of these tunes I have played and recorded in, I will be providing them as an album that you can purchase online if you'd like. Me playing through these sets at the medium tempos, which would be half speed of what you would normally find in a typical trad session. Each tune played 3 times in the sets that we've learned them. So if you're interested in that, definitely hit me up on our Facebook group page, and I will let you know how you can do that. Stay tuned for an announcement as well. As I said, I'm about halfway done with that particular recording, and then soon after that I will be doing another recording, which will be at trad session tempos, full tempos, with guitar accompaniment, that you can hear how you might encounter these same tune sets at a non-slow session. Okay, so here's a set of jigs. Smash the windows, tripping up the stairs, and off she goes, all in the key of D. Let's get rid of this. We don't need that. That's the PayPal. We got the Venmo. Sorry, I didn't mean to be leaving that out for. Actually, it kind of covers up the belly section, so maybe I should put that back up. Anyway, so smash the windows, tripping up the stairs, and off she goes. Double jigs. So 1,000, 2,000, 1, 2, ya da 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 da, 1 and a 2, 1 and a go. Just checking chats as I'm playing. This multitasking thing is not really my forte, if you know what I mean. Interesting though. Huh? off she goes. It's the smash the windows, tripping up the stairs, and off she goes. Jig set. Okay. So was that better? Well, actually, you weren't having a problem with the jigs. Here's a set of reels. We'll see if I can nail this tempo for you guys. Let's see. All right. I'm going to try and keep this a little bit towards the medium rather than super slow, but hopefully you guys and gals can keep up with it. If you're still having a hard time with the tempo, try and keep your, play at least the first note of each measure, or grab the first beat. Keep your eye on the music if that helps. Let's see what else. Also, you can just sit back and try to hum it. Try and get it internalized inside your head, and then go back and listen to it. You can download these tunes into your amazing Slow Downer app, or the Mimi Copy, or AnyTune Pro Plus Slow Downer apps, and get it at a decent tempo. Or go back and revisit some of the other workshops where the particular tunes were being discussed in more depth and at a slower tempo. So here's Father Kelly's reel and the Green Fields of America. 1, 2, 1, and go. How's the tempo? Kelly's Reel on the green fields of America. Just want to double check on the tempo for you there. Was that better tempo for those reels? By the way, I don't know if that's Rita. I don't know if that's a problem on my end, but most likely it's the Wi-Fi had a little bit of a snafu between here and there, and hopefully that blurred picture is cleared up. I guarantee you it's not because of the energy drink I'm drinking. It is energy rather than alcohol. So, all right. Now, that is the first hour of our Irish trad slow session. Now we are going to do the workshop and learn a couple of new tunes. And what we have to learn today, by the way, I did a couple of quick tutorial videos and posted them on in our Facebook group. So hopefully you had a chance to take a listen and a look at those, because those are done very slowly and picking up the tempo. The first one is the Munster Buttermilk jig. It's a 3-part double jig. Double jig again meaning that every section has 16 bars. You have 8 that are written out with a repeat at the end. And there's 3 of those sections. And the tonal center is B minor. And then if you go to the next jig that we're going to learn, it's the Coleraine, which is also a double jig, but with only 2 sections, A and B, both repeated. Again, we have the tonal center is B minor, and that is related to D major as the relative minor of D major. Okay. Let's see. All right, now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through this at a typical session tune. 1 time straight through, top to bottom, with the repeats, and that'll give you a flavor for what we're looking at. All I want you to do is kind of listen and feel the tune and see if you can follow along on the notes if you are a note reader, okay? So, this would be a typical session tempo. So that is your typical trad session tempo. Let's see. Actually, Wendy, the playlist is on the Facebook group page, so hopefully you are a member of that, and if not, definitely check that out. Put in a request, and I'll make sure that you get in. I think you're already a member, but glad to hear about the tempos being okay on the reels. We might slow them down just a little bit more. Let's get back into this now. Munster Buttermilk, we're going to do the section A, and we're going to do it very slowly. There are no real ornamentations in this first section, so it's fairly simple. And the feel is bum ba dum ba 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 da da ba 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 yep ba da da. So it's kind of got a swinging feel to it. All right. So a little bit slower to begin with. 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. So that's section A at the slow tempo. Let's do it at a medium tempo now. 1, 2, 1 and go and so that's at the slow and the mid-tempo. Now, I want you to take a look at something because this is really important. The best way to practice something is to find out where it's similar and dissimilar. Okay, it's called critical analysis, and it's something that we should all be doing with everything in life, but especially music. Remember, musical thoughts are very similar to just regular thoughts too. You have to have that critical analysis. And here we have, if you look at the way I've written it out in transcription, we have 2 lines. The first 2 measures of each line are exactly the same. So we have D, E, F, D, B, D. E, F, D, B. Then the next line, same thing. D, E, F, D, B, D. E, F, D, B. So if you're struggling with that particular measure, or any one of those 4 measures, just take that measure and play it as slowly as you can to get it correctly. And just keep going over that. Do it maybe 5 times in a row. 2 more times. Last time. Okay, and once you've done it 5 times at that very slow, easy tempo, then you should be able to bump it up considerably in tempo. Dum ba dum bum bum bum. Let's try it at that tempo. 1 and ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. 1 more time. Okay, so we've taken 1 small piece of this section. We played it as slowly as we needed to in order to get it correct, to do it easily. We did that 5 times, and then we bumped it up considerably in tempo and did it another 5 times. And what we've done now, in just the 2 minutes that it's taken me to describe what we're going to do it, and then tell you what we've done, it's about 2 minutes worth of practice right there. You've learned half of this section. Okay, take a look. That 1 measure we practiced represents half of this entire section. Okay, it's the first 2 measures of each line. Now let's take a look at the first line, the last 2 measures. We have A, F, E, E. F, A, F, E, E. A. So both of those are very similar. We have the A, F, E, E. All right? So once you learn that, that's all you got to remember. All right? And then the second line, the last 2 measures are very similar to what we just did, with 1 difference. It doesn't do A, F, E, it goes to the D. A, F, D, D. F, A, F, D, D. All right? So once you take a look at it that way, it's really not that difficult to learn. And you take 1 small piece at a time, and you play it as slowly as you need to, and you do it for 5 or 6 times in a row, then bump up the tempo, you pretty much have it. Okay, well let's do section B now. And right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, the first note, which is a dotted quarter note, I'm going to play that as a long roll. So the long roll is so on the first finger long roll it's 1, 3, 1, open 1. B, D, B, A, B. 1, 3, 1, open 1. And that happens in the three the triplet pattern like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you stay on the first finger before you start the roll. You stay on it for the first 2 beats. So 1, 2, roll. And then you end on the B again as your last note on the third of that triplet. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's our first measure. All right, so let's take a look at, that's pretty much all we've gotten as far as ornamentation in section B. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? So does this. Repeat. Okay, before we go any further, just want to point out that the last 2 measures of each line in section B are the same as the last 2 measures of each line in section A. So we have and happens in both sections. So once you've learned that, you don't have to learn it again. You just have to remember that you know it. Okay, so our first 2 measures in section B are let's do that again. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Okay, let's take a quick break from that for a second. Just like a sip of water or a sip of wine can help to cleanse the palate between bites, we want to take a little bit of a break between bites that we are practicing on, going from slow to fast, just to kind of reset our attention, our focus. All right, I'm going to do the same 2 measures, section B, first and second measures, but faster. So 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. 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 Okay, so that's the first and second measures, which has that long roll in there. Now, for those of you who are struggling with the long roll, don't worry about it so much. You can simply play it. Or you can put a double stop in there. B minor has, it's B minor, it would be B, a D, and an F sharp. So you could take, you double your first finger up on B and F sharp, Okay, put an F sharp on the E string, or put the F sharp on the D string. Or you put a D there, which is an open D. I typically do the open D because it's a stronger, more solid sound. Okay, so let's take a look at the second line of B. Now we don't have to do the last two measures because we know those from section A. So let's just focus on the first two measures, which would be now. If that sounds familiar, it's very familiar. It's basically a repeat of the first two measures, but with extra notes. So the first two measures, we had the long roll. Here's the second line. It's exactly the same as the first two measures, except for the fact the first beat, instead of playing the long roll, you're doing B, A, B. Okay, so let's do that slowly. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Okay, at tempo it would be ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. All right, now let's move on. Section C. Let's take a quick look. Do we have any kind of ornamentation in here? No, we don't. But again, we have a lot of the same repeats. In fact, if you look at the last two measures of each line, it's our old friends and. So we don't have to worry about those. We already got them down. Let's take a look at the first two measures, though. We have G, F, G, F, E, D. Then we have E, D, E, F, D, B, A. One more time. Okay, that's fairly simple. Let's do it again at a faster tempo now. Another set of 5. 1 and ready, set, go. One and ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Last time, go. Okay, now let's take a look at the bottom line. We have exactly the same thing. So, do we need to practice it? Not at all. Let's just do section C. We'll do it at a slow tempo, and then we'll do it at a medium tempo. Here we go. 1 and ready, set, go. So that is the Munster buttermilk. Now all we have to do is put it all together. So I'm going to do it again, top to bottom. I'm going to do it slow the first time and medium tempo a second time through. How's everything going for you folks? Looks like we lost a few of our viewers. Hopefully I'm not boring you. I'm going to put this up here in case you feel sorry for me and want to tip me. That's the PayPal and that's the Venmo. All right, so Munster buttermilk. First time, slow tempo. Second time, medium tempo. 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. So that's the slow tempo. Here is medium tempo. Thanks, Rita. Appreciate you sticking around. And here we go. Oops. Munster. There we are. One, two, one, and go, and Okay, so there is the monster buttermilk. Now that leaves us with about half an hour, looks like. We're running right on time to do the colorane. This won't take us quite as long because it's only got 2 sections. Before we move on though, I just want to just give you a couple of quick reminders. Your takeaway for what we've done here in the workshop today is that you should look for patterns. Look for repeats of patterns so you don't have to worry about relearning them every time you encounter them throughout the tune. Just learn them once and then remind yourself where they're going to happen again throughout the piece. You learn them once and you don't have to worry about it. Also, take a small bite of each. You know, if you don't have to learn the entire tune in one sitting. You can take just a measure, maybe 2 measures, play it very slowly until you really get it and it's easy. And then after about 5 or 6 times of repeating that, you bump up the tempo and do it at a faster tempo. And I guarantee you that you'll find this is a quick and efficient way of learning the tunes. All right, moving along. The colorane, again, B minor. Taking a look at section A. Actually, let me play through this at a session tempo so you have an idea of what it sounds like, and then we'll discuss section A and section B separately, okay? Kind of a fun one, right? Okay, so this one has some interesting things in it. Not doing much in the way, again, of ornamentations, but we do have some double stops that are going to come into play in section B. However, I do want you to take a quick scan over this page and just notice the fact that we've got A sharps in here. For those of you who are not familiar with what an A sharp is, it's A up a half step. The other way you can think about it is A sharp equals a B flat. Okay, so B down a half step. So whichever way you like to think of it, it's written as A sharp because that's what you would see in the key of B minor. You would see sharps, not flats. But instead of an open A, you would play an A sharp when you see that accidental. The accidental looks like a hashtag, okay? So the last measure of section A, first line. All right, we have a C sharp, then an A sharp, which you play on the violin with a low first finger right next to the nut, and then F sharp. C sharp, then a first finger right here by the nut. The nut's this part of the violin that the strings rest on at the top of the fingerboard. Put your finger right next to it, and that gives you the A sharp. Okay, here's A, here's A sharp. Okay, it also happens in the next line. Okay, so in section A, that's how we're going to approach the A sharp. We're going to play a first finger. I'm sure on the cello it'll be the same thing. So good luck with that. Let's do section A now. Here it is at the slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. repeat that. Do you notice anything interesting about the first line and the second line? Hopefully you've noticed that for the first 2.5 measures, it's exactly the same on both lines. Okay, that's the first line. And that's the second line. Learn it once, and then you don't have to learn it again. All right, here is section A, second time through at the slow tempo. Ready, set, go. So that's section A at the slow tempo. Let's pick it up to medium tempo. 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. So, moving on to section B. We start section B with a dotted quarter note. Now remember, we have the option anytime we see a dotted quarter note to play a long roll ornamentation. Long roll on the third finger would be 3, 4, 3, 2, 3. So, but as I said earlier in the recording, I believe last hour, we have we tend to have a rule of thumb. We have a rule of thumb that says you don't start or end a section on an ornament. Again, you can break that anytime you feel like it. So if you wanted to play a long roll on there, that would be fine. Right? But I choose to play something a little more solid. And what is more solid than playing an octave with an open string? Sense the power there? All right. So that's what I choose to do, and you that's what you'll hear me do. You can do it any way you'd like to do it. All right. Now, take a look at the first line. We have, in the second measure, we have a regular A, then we have an A sharp, which we're going to play with our fourth finger and slide that fourth finger up into the B4 in the third measure. So, fourth on the A sharp, slide to the B. This is second measure of section B. Now A sharp to the B. So it's a little bit of a slide. Now here we have an A sharp, again with the first finger, then a regular first finger on the B. So in the last measure of the first line of B, we have A sharp, C sharp, B1. Then we have F sharp with a G sharp, and then we have an A sharp, which you can either play with the fourth finger or first finger, whatever is more convenient for you. But if you're going to do it with the first finger, your next note is a B1. And then it goes back to an A sharp. So you get a lot of this back and forth here. So let's take the last measure of B, first line. A sharp, C sharp, B, F, G sharp, first finger A sharp, B, A sharp, B. See what I'm doing here? It's kind of fun, all right? Or, all right? Okay, so let's try, let's talk about the second line. We've got, what's this? That's exactly the same as what we find the last measure 7 of section A. Very same. So those two measures at the end, we don't have to really worry about. It's just getting there. Okay? All right, now, section B, slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. Fourth finger slide. 1, 2, 1, 1. One. Fourth finger slide. One, one, one. One. Okay, and I did lie. We do have also another ornamentation which you do use, and that's the cut at the end of each section. You have two B's that are tied together with a slur or a tie, and that tie is cut in half with a grace note, third finger. So without the tie, it sounds like this. With the tie, it sounds like this. With the tie and the cut, it sounds like this. Okay, and that's just a very light tap on the string with your third finger to cut. And you're going to do that right where you change the bow if there were no tie there. So, or, all right. All right, medium tempo, section B. Moving along. One, two, three, ready, set, go. Okay, let's do the entirety of the collarine jig now. I'm going to do it once through at the slow tempo and then once through at the medium tempo. Okay. 1, 2, 3, top, ready, go. 4 slide. Now let's do this at the medium tempo. Get rid of the Venmo thing. Okay. One and ready, set, go. So there you have it, the coleraine. And that goes with the Munster Buttermilk. So those are our 2 new tunes. That's our new tune set. And what we're going to do now, in the time remaining, is play the 2 together. So starting with Munster Buttermilk, we'll play through it twice. And then we'll do the coleraine twice. And that should take us up to the end of the workshop. All right, so I'm going to try and split the difference between the slow tempo and the medium tempo. 1, 2, 3, ready, set, go. Go on the coleraine. Up. Hup. So there is the new set. Hopefully you'll enjoy that. Again, there are quick tutorial videos on the Facebook page already. So check those out. Feel free to come back and visit this live stream. It'll stay posted on my channel. I am not removing them, at least at this point. You are more than welcome to visit and revisit the stream just to make sure that anything that you have questions on, might pick those back up. Let's see, what else? Oh yes, if you're not a member of the Facebook group, Irish Trad Slow Session Workshop, please join up. Please sign up for that, because a lot of the information, the tunes, the set list, the tutorials, all that's going to be on the group page. The other thing I wanted to mention about the group, I really encourage you to post in the group yourself, as long as it pertains to the workshop. For example, we've had several members take pictures or videos of them as they were playing along with me in the session. Love that. Love to see that on the page. We had one member that posted another friend of mine's live stream for a live stream concert on the page. I left it up there because I love the guy and I love his work, and I thought you should see it. But this particular group is not the place for that kind of a post. So keep in mind that anything you post should be pertinent to the purpose of the group, which is to make this workshop a lot easier for those who want to be involved. And finally, special thanks to Cultus Caltori Aaron, which is the kind of the umbrella group from Ireland that I belong to. We have a chapter here in Los Angeles. What it is, it tries to bring people together who are interested in Irish tradition and culture. That would include the music that we're playing, teaching people how to play the music, to dance to the music. Also covers things like literature and plays, poetry, things like that. So that's Cultus Caltori Aaron, and I highly recommend that you check them out. If you're not a member, check that out. It's a very inexpensive way to really get in touch with your Irish heritage. And they are, this whole workshop is being brought to you by them. Why? Because I happen to be the chairperson of the Los Angeles branch, and I say so. Anyway, it's something that I want to make sure that all of you have access to, and I'm a big believer in CCE, as I like to call it, the acronym, because Cultus Caltori Aaron, it's always a tongue tire. Yeah, that. So, anything else that I need to do? I do appreciate you folks participating in chat. It really makes my life a lot easier. Otherwise, I just feel like I'm sitting here talking to my iPhone, which I yell at people on the road that I see doing that too. So it's nice to know that I actually have real people out there that are listening and participating and enjoying what I do and what I bring them. And then now, finally, thank you to those of you who have been kind enough to donate your hard-earned money to my tip jar. That means a lot, especially this last year, which has been extremely hard for myself and for all the musicians that have been basically locked out of our jobs for over a year. So every little bit does help, just to allay any kind of worries that you might have about me and my situation. I'm doing fine, and I'll continue to do fine. I have a lovely wife who is back to work at Disney, and so she's bringing in some income, and I am picking up income from other things. For example, the new recording that I'm doing for this particular workshop will be available for sale, and you can buy that, and I will have that kind of information. That's another way that you can support what it is I'm doing here. Anyway, I believe I've taken us all the way up to the end time. What I want to do finally, I guess, is, let's see, I'm going to pull up GarageBand here and see if I can do. Okay. Oh yes. So here is a copy of one of the recordings that I've done, just to give you an idea of what it is that I'm talking about when I have when I'm recording all of these things here. That's all right. We don't need to. Yeah, but I don't need that. Okay, so come on. Well, it's not going to let me do it, and that's not a cool thing. Well, I'll tell you what. I will give you a sample on our Facebook group page, so you have an idea. I'm really excited about it. I think you'll be happy with the results, and it'll give you something that you can play along with at home, in addition to these lovely videos and live streams that I keep up on YouTube. Thank you again, everybody, and thank you, Tom McNamara from the Irish Import Shop, for letting me have your Wren Theater stage for a couple of hours this afternoon, and I will see you guys the next time. Hopefully it'll be next Saturday. We'll see. Thanks again.